They praised my resume. They fast-tracked my interview. They told me I was exactly what they were looking for. Then I walked into the room. And everything changed. Stay with me. Because what happened next revealed a truth about job discrimination that no one likes to admit out loud. At 10 a.m. on a Thursday morning, my phone buzzed. I was sitting at my small kitchen table in Baltimore, Maryland, staring at a cup of coffee that had gone cold hours ago. I hadn't slept much the night before. I was too busy replaying the interview in my head, every question, every smile, every handshake. The number on my phone wasn't saved, but I recognized the area code immediately. My heart started racing. This was the call, the job I had spent years preparing for, the position that could finally change my life, the role I was told, more than once, I was perfect for. I answered on the first ring. "Hello, this is Marcus," I said, trying to sound calm. There was a pause. Then a woman's voice replied, polite, but different from before. "Hi, Marcus. This is Karen from Human Resources. I'm calling regarding your recent interview." I sat up straight. "Yes," I said, "I've been looking forward to hearing from you." Another pause, and then she said the words that would stay with me for the rest of my life. "We've decided to move forward with other candidates." Just like that, no explanation, no feedback, no acknowledgement of the glowing praise they'd given me just days earlier. The same people who loved my resume changed their minds the moment they saw my skin color. I wasn't new to rejection. Like most black, I'd faced my share of "thank you, but no thank you" emails. But this time felt different. This time, everything had gone right, at least on paper. My resume was solid. I had a bachelor's degree in business administration, 7 years of relevant experience, certifications they specifically requested, strong references from previous managers, a portfolio that showed real results. I had spent weeks perfecting that resume. Every bullet point was intentional, every word chosen carefully, every accomplishment backed by numbers. And it worked. Within 48 hours of submitting my application, I received an email. "We were extremely impressed with your background and would love to invite you for an interview." I remember reading that sentence over and over again. For the first time in a long time, I felt seen. The first interview was over Zoom. No video, just audio. They said it was a technical issue. There were 3 people on the call. The hiring manager, a senior team lead, someone from the very first question, the energy was positive. They laughed at my answers. They complimented my experience. At one point, the hiring manager said, "Honestly, Marcus, your resume stood out immediately. You're exactly the kind of person we're looking for." Exactly. Those words echoed in my head for days. By the end of the call, they asked if I'd be willing to come in for an in-person interview. I didn't hesitate. "Yes," I said, "absolutely." The building was modern, clean, professional, glass walls, neutral colors, inspirational quotes on the walls about diversity and inclusion. The irony would hit me later. As I walked toward the reception desk, I noticed the receptionist glance up, then freeze for half a second. Not long, just long enough. Her smile faltered. She recovered quickly, but I noticed. I always notice. I gave my name. She nodded and said, "They'll be right with you." When the hiring manager came out to greet me, his smile didn't quite match the one I'd heard in his voice over the phone. It wasn't hostile. It was cautious. As we shook hands, I saw it. That flicker, that moment of recalibration, that unspoken realization. Oh, he's black. The interview itself wasn't bad, but it wasn't the same. The warmth from the first interview was gone. Questions felt colder, responses shorter, smiles rarer. They asked about culture fit. They asked how I handled conflict. They asked if I felt comfortable in fast-paced environments. Questions I'd answered dozens of times before, but this time, they felt loaded. I answered professionally, calmly, confidently. Still, something had shifted. At the end, the hiring manager said, "We'll be in touch soon." No enthusiasm, no reassurance, no, "Great meeting you." Just polite distance. Days passed, then a week, then another. I sent a follow-up email. No response. Finally, the call came. The one at 9:17 a.m. The rejection. No explanation, no feedback, just a closed door. At first, I blamed myself. Maybe I said the wrong thing. Maybe I wasn't confident enough. Maybe there was someone better. But then something happened. 2 weeks later, I saw the job reposted. Same title, same description, same requirements. The position hadn't been filled. They didn't choose another candidate. They chose not to choose me. As I kept applying, I noticed a pattern. When interviews were phone only, resume based, blind screening, I advanced. When they became video based, in person, visual, I stalled or disappeared. Same qualifications, same experience, different outcome. The common denominator? My skin color. People often think racism is loud, slurs, shouting, obvious hate, but the most damaging kind is quiet. It's the smile that fades, the tone that changes, the opportunity that disappears without explanation. It's being told you're impressive until you walk into the room. It's never knowing if you were rejected because you weren't good enough, or because you were too black. I started doubting myself. I replayed interviews in my head late at night. I wondered if I should change my name on applications, straighten my hair, sound less black on calls. I hated that those thoughts even crossed my mind. But they did, because when doors keep closing without explanation, you start looking for reasons, any reasons. Months later, I received another interview. Different company, different city. This time, the hiring manager was upfront. We value diversity here, she said. And we want people to show up as they are. I didn't know whether to believe her. But I went anyway. The interview felt different, real and human. When I walked in, no one flinched. No recalibration, no sudden coldness. 2 days later, my phone rang. Marcus, she said, smiling through the phone, we'd love to offer you the position. I accepted without hesitation. I got the job. I succeeded, but the experience before it stayed with me. Because for every story like mine that ends well, there are countless others that don't. Talented people overlooked, qualified candidates dismissed, dreams delayed, or destroyed, by bias no one wants to admit exists. I'm not telling this story for sympathy. I'm telling it for awareness. Because somewhere right now is being judged before they speak. Someone is being dismissed before they're heard. Someone is being denied not because of ability, but appearance. And if you've ever felt that invisible wall, you're not imagining it, you're not alone. Your worth was never defined by their fear. And if this story resonated with you, like, share and subscribe for more powerful real-life stories. Thank you for watching.